Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. Today we will continue our lecture with the dielectric properties of the matter. Today we will discuss about the polarization of the dielectric, how a dielectric can be polarized and what is the mathematical relation in the polarization of the dielectric. So in the previous lecture we have already discussed about the polar molecules and the non-polar molecules. In case of the polar molecules, the center of gravity of the two charges, they will not lie at the same point, but in case of the non-polar molecules, the center of gravity lies at a single point. And on the application of the electric field, when we will apply some external field to a dielectric, then it becomes polarized. We have already discussed about this topic. So let us start with this polarization of the dielectric. So if you can remember, in the last class we have discussed about, this is suppose in case of polar molecule, this is the in general case when the electric field is not applied, they will move in the random direction. These electric dipoles, they will move in the random direction, so that its net dipole moment inside this dielectric, this will be zero. As a whole, if you will see this dielectric, that is the macroscopic view, then the net dipole moment is zero, but the individual has their own dipole moment. But when it is placed in an electric field, this dielectric metal is placed in an electric field, then this electric field will experiences a torque on this dipole. So this electric dipole, they will now try to align themselves in the direction of the field, and but the condition is that this positive charge, they will lie in the direction of the field, and the negative charges will lie in the opposite to the direction of the field. So that what will happen inside this electric dipole, inside this dielectric material, if you can see, this individual electric dipoles here, they will experiences their own electric field in the opposite direction, that is from positive to negative. They will experiences their own electric field in this direction. So this type of electric field that is experienced by the electric dipole inside that dielectric material, this is known as the induced electric field. So let us start from this point. The dielectric material, when placed in an electric field, it acquires a net dipole moment. So this dipole moment due to the applied electric field, it is known as the induced dipole moment. Okay. When the molecules of a dielectric are aligned completely or partially in the direction of the electric field, then the dielectric is said to be polarized. So we can say that the average dipole moment, the average dipole moment, the average dipole moment, that is the dipole moment is small p vector. This average dipole moment p induced in each molecule of the dielectric, each molecule of the dielectric is proportional to E vector, that is the electric field is proportional to the electric field, that is E vector. Or mathematically we can write it as this electric dipole moment small p vector is proportional to, this is your proportionality symbol, to E vector. Or if I write this in terms of the proportionality constant, so I can write this implies P will be equal to alpha times E. Okay, but this condition only satisfy when this electric field is very small. Here I can write, this is my first equation, this is valid, just try to write with me, this is valid when the electric field E vector is small. Okay, and here right, where this alpha is a constant alpha is constant, at constant temperature, alpha equal to constant, at constant temperature, at constant temperature and frequency, constant temperature and frequency. But it depends, depends on the dielectric, depends on the dielectric. And this alpha is known as the molecular polarizability, and this is also known as the molecular polarizability. Molecular polarizability. Molecular polarizability. Okay. Polarizability. Okay. This alpha is called the molecular polarizability. But when this electric field is very large, this what I have told that this P equal to alpha E, that is the dipole moment is proportional to the electric field, that is this P equal to alpha E. This is valid only when this E is small. But when this E becomes large, that is when this electric field becomes very large, then the rate of increase of this dipole moment with this electric field will decreases. Or you can say that then when this electric field is large, then it will be inversely proportional to the, that is the dipole moment is inversely proportional to the electric field, and that effect is called as the saturation effect. Let me write. When E becomes large, when this electric field becomes large, the rate of increase, the rate of increase of this dipole moment P. Here I am writing small p for the dipole moment. I will write capital P for the polarization. Okay. So when electric field becomes large, the rate of increase of P with the electric field E vector, with the electric field E decreases. It decreases. So this effect is known as saturation effect. Saturation effect. Okay. So the total induced electric moment per unit volume, induced electric moment per unit volume, this is nothing but your polarization. Okay. The total induced electric moment per unit volume is called polarization, and it is denoted by the capital P. Here I am writing this capital P so that you can distinguish between the polarization and the dipole moment. Now this polarization P, this is equal to, we can write N alpha E vector. Okay. This is suppose equation 2. Or we can say that this polarization that we have defined, that is N alpha E, here we have considered if there are n molecules per unit volume, of the dielectric, then the polarization will be like N alpha E, because you know the dipole moment per unit volume is the polarization. Now let us consider a rectangular block. Suppose this is my rectangular block, and suppose it has the length, suppose L, and it has the uniform cross section area A. Okay, this has the uniform cross sectional area A. So let me write, let us consider a rectangular block of the polarized dielectric of the polarized dielectric of length L and having uniform cross section A. Okay, so here it is polarized means there are some surface charge density. Here I can say that suppose the surface charge density minus sigma p, suppose plus sigma p is present at the end faces of this rectangular block. Okay, so let me write. So let the surface charge densities at the end faces be plus sigma p and minus sigma p. Okay, this surface charge density means the total charge for the cross sectional area. This is basically surface charge densities, and here this surface charge density is plus sigma p and minus sigma p. Suppose this sigma p equal to this total charge divided by the area. The surface charge density equal to the total charge lies in a certain cross sectional area, suppose A. So here we can write, therefore the charge induced on each face, that is equal to sigma p into A, because you know sigma p equal to total charge induced divided by the area. So this charge will be equal to sigma p into A. So this is sigma p into A. So here we can write the total induced electric dipole moment equal to QL, which is equal to sigma p. This charge is sigma p into A, so sigma p A into L. This is suppose equation number 3. And again, as P is the polarization, if I write as P is the polarization, P, capital P is the polarization. Polarization means as P is the polarization, that is, polarization means electric dipole moment per unit volume, that is electric dipole moment per unit volume, or you can write it as our polarization capital P equal to this small p, that is electric dipole moment, divided by volume V. But here you can see in this rectangular block, this area of cross section is A and this length is L. So this area into length, this will gives our volume, this volume of the rectangular block. So here we can write in place of V. So here we can write P. This is the electric dipole moment P divided by, in place of V we can write A into L. Okay. Or this electric dipole moment small p, that will be equal to the polarization P into this AL. Here it will be multiplied A into L. So this is suppose equation number 4. Now if I will compare with this equation 3 with the 4, that is here in equation 3 this is the induced electric dipole moment, and here also this is your electric dipole moment small p. It means that if we will compare equation 3 with the 4, sigma PAL will be equal to PAL. So comparing equation 3 with 4, then this will be sigma PAL will be equal to PAL. Okay, sigma PAL equal to PAL. So here AL get cancelled. That implies this polarization will be equal to sigma P, that is the surface charge density. So here we can write, so polarization can be defined as the surface density of charge appearing at faces perpendicular to the direction of the applied field. Okay. So this is our conclusion, is that the polarization will be equal to the surface charge density, and this surface charge density is the charge appearing at the faces perpendicular to the direction of the applied field. If we will apply the field in this direction to this rectangular block, then this is obviously this cross sectional area, this part is perpendicular to this electric field, this area it is perpendicular to this electric field. Okay, just like this. Okay, this is your this part or this part. Okay, so this is all about your polarization of the dielectric. That's all for today. Thank you all.